Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. So in today's class, we are going to start with a new module, which is a reading module. So in reading, it consists of 1 hour. So there will be 60 minutes given to you and there will be 40 questions which you have to complete. That means you have to complete 40 questions in 60 minutes and you have to be quick in finding the answers. So there are different types of questions in reading, and we'll not be doing all the type of questions in just one day because every type of question requires a different technique and different strategy. So we'll be doing one type of question, one particular type of question today in the session, and I'll explain you that type in detail, and at the end of the session I'll provide you one assignment to do by yourself by implementing the techniques and strategies which I've told you in today's lecture. So there are different types of questions, as I've told you. The first type of question in reading is called true, false, not given. Second type is headings. So there are headings in it. Third type is fill-ups. So there are fill in the blanks in the reading. There are multiple choice questions, which is the fourth type. So there will be different options given to you and you have to choose one particular option from those given options. Last type is called matching. So in matching, you have to match the information with the question asked. So these are all different types and these all require different techniques and strategies. So before doing all these questions, there are some basic things, information. There is a basic information and there are techniques and strategies which I need to tell you before you start doing the questions. So reading of 1 hour, right, as I've told you earlier also, it requires different techniques and strategies. So before doing reading, you should know some main things. You'll get one piece of paper if you're giving pen and paper based exam, and there will be not just one piece, it's a booklet. So there will be 40 questions in the booklet and there will be 3 sections, 3 passages there. So in 3 passages there will be different sort of questions. So when you get that booklet, there is no need to start reading the whole passage. What some students do is, the biggest mistake which they do is, they open the first section, open the first passage and they start reading the passage in detail. You will not get bans for how well you understand the passage. You'll get bans for your accurate answers only. So focus on the questions, the demand of the questions first, and then search it from the passage. Do not read the passage. It will waste your time. So now, before you start your reading, the first thing you need to do is, you have to read the instructions very carefully. Whenever you do any type of question, such as you're doing fill-ups, if you're doing fill-ups, you need to read the instructions, because in the instructions there are certain things mentioned, that whether you have to write the numbers in the blanks only, or you need to write 2 words only, 3 words only, 1 word only, 1 word or a number, 1 word and a number, 2 words and a number. So these are the instructions which you need to carefully understand first. So look at the instructions, then read the question. So this is the first thing which you need to follow, which you need to look for. Second thing, skim the whole passage. Now skimming does not mean read the whole passage. Skimming means just look at the title of the passage, what this topic is all about, whether it is on technology, history, fashion, science, medicine. So you need to first of all know what you're going to read about. So you should know the title of the passage first and just look at the number of paragraphs. Just skim. Skim means just quickly going through the whole passage. That means skimming and understanding the concept. Do not read it in detail, right? Skim the whole passage just to get an idea what this passage is all about. So the next thing is, read the questions first. I've told you earlier also, do not read the whole passage. You have to just skim the passage. read the title, and then jump to the questions. When you are on the questions, you have to read the questions. And when you read the questions, you have to follow one strategy, which is called RUP method. So what RUP stands for? R means you have to read the question very carefully. U means understand the statement. Understand the meaning of the question. Do not just look for the keywords. You have to understand what the examiner is asking you about. P means predict the demand of the question. Demand of the question means what is the question which the examiner is asking you, and you need to find what, where, when, why, who. So you need to understand this concept in order to find the correct answers. Read the question, understand the question, predict what is the demand of the question. So these are some of the things which you need to follow before reading. Now, while you're reading, what you need to focus on, how you can find the correct answers. First thing, you have to identify the keywords. Keywords are uncommon words in the question. For example, name of someone, any year, any place, any location, any noun, any verb, which you think is not commonly written in the passage, which is unique, which is uncommon. So you need to, this is called skimming. So when you find the keyword, you need to skim in the passage. Skim means just go to the passage and look for it very carefully and quickly. Skimming does not mean reading each and every line in detail, because passages are too long, so you cannot read the whole sentence in detail. So you just have to skim the passage, identify the keyword. Then you have to scan that keyword. Scanning means now locating that word in the passage where it is written. So for example, you are finding a location called Australia. So in the question, Australia is mentioned, and in the passage, Australia is mentioned only once or twice, hardly. So wherever you find this word, you need to underline and start reading those two sentences and find which sentence matches with the question. There you will find the link if you understand the question carefully. So skimming and scanning, these are very important parts of doing reading. Now you have to read very carefully, obviously. Do not just read the keyword, locate the keyword and write the answer. You have to write the correct answer, not just the answer. Now next is active reading. Active reading means read your passage and your questions very carefully, which I've told you earlier also, meticulously. And you should know the story, you should know the idea, what you're going to find, what you're going to locate. If you understand the question carefully, only then you will be able to find it in the passage. If you do not understand it, if you do not know the demand of the question, you might end up finding anything inaccurate. So these are some of the techniques and strategies which you need to follow in order to get the correct answer. So let's do this type of question today. We'll start with this type. So this is called true, false, not given type. And in the final exam, they can also ask you yes, no, not given. They can either ask you any of these. And whenever you write your answer in the final exam, you need to write it in capital letters. For example, your answer is Australia, so you will write it like this. You cannot write it in running hands. So there is a reason behind this, because if you write it in your running hand, there are chances that examiner might not know whether the spellings are correct or not because of your poor handwriting. So here, handwriting is more clear. Each and every letter is more clear than this. So try to avoid it and try to write it in capital letters. Every answer, no matter it is of 1 word, 2 word, 3 words, write it in capital letters. Now, in case of yes, no, yes, no, not given, and true, false, not given, strategy is same. Whenever you need to write true or yes, you need to understand one thing. When you read the question, understand the question, and if the information, the story of the question %100% matches with the passage, only then it will be either true or yes. If, I'm repeating, the information or the story, not the words. Some students match the words only, but the story is different. Information is different. If the information and story 100% matches with the passage, with the information given in the passage, the question's statement and the passage statement is 100% accurate and matches, only then it will be true. Only then. I have written 100%. Make sure 100% means completely matches, totally matches, right? So this is the strategy to write true or yes. Now in case of false or no, when do you have to write false or no? If the information or the story contradicts either 1% or 100%, even a little bit, even the most, then it will be either false or no. If you think the information in the question opposes the information given in the passage or contradicts, contradicts means oppose, it's not same, it's different, it's opposite, it will be false or no. It will not be true, it will not be yes, it will be yes only if it 100% matches. Here, if you think even 1% information is opposite, even 20% is opposite, even 30% is opposite, if even 50% is opposite, or whole information is opposite, it will be false only, not true or yes. Now in case of not given, if the information or story is not written anywhere, if the examiner is asking you a question which is not written in the passage, that is not given, it's not given in the passage, so you will write the answer not given. So let's do these questions in detail now. You will get to know what I'm talking about, how you have to implement these strategies. So now I have a question here and a statement which is given in the passage. So let's see whether it matches or not. So the question says, after selecting a builder, you should decide the design of the building. First of all, you have to understand the statement. You have to use RUP method. Read the question, understand the question, predict the demand of the question. So we have read the question. Now we will understand it. After selecting a builder, that means when you select a builder, what you have to do after that? You have to decide the design of your building. Then you have to decide the design of your building. That means you have to select a builder first and then you have to decide the design of your building. This is given in the question. Now let's see whether it matches with the statement or not. So statement in the passage says, once you have a design in your mind, when you have the design of the building in your mind, it is time to start finding a builder. Now you have to find the builder. So here in the passage it is written, you have to make a design first in your mind, then you have to find a builder. And in the question it is written, you have to find a builder first and then you have to finalize the design. So these two statements are oppositely written. So here they are saying builder first, design after. They are saying design first, builder after. That does not matches. So the answer will be false because it is opposite. It's not true. True will be in the case of if here they must have written that you need to start finding the builder first and then you can make the design in your mind. It will match with the question. So now it's not matching, the answer will be false.